welcome to Pet Pals. As always, I'm Bethany Davidson, the Humane Educator here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. And we're happy that you tuned in to meet a few of our adoptable pets today. First up, we have Balto here with Tammy, and he is one of the only 3 dogs that we're going to have on the show today because so many of them have already been on the show multiple times and others have homes to go to, so that's a great thing. So we're going to just use that time to introduce you to some of the other animals. But first up, we want you to get to know Balto here. He is a 1 to 1.5-year-old husky, and he has a beautiful red and white coat. A lot of people call and ask us about huskies here, and huskies can be a little stubborn. They can have some quirks. So a lot of our huskies have to be adopted into very specific homes, and Balto is no different than the majority of the huskies we see here. We want him to go to an adult-only home. Based on the information that I'm seeing here in his behavior assessment, that's probably going to be due to how he reacted when handling his feet and his mouth. He didn't just pull away or resist and struggle. He actually went so far as to mouth at your hands, or he became, a little intolerant of having his mouth handled. So we do those things for the safety of the animal and the safety of the children that would be in the home. The other thing is, because of all those quirks and that kind of go with just a husky in general, we are looking for his home to have an owner that has husky or at least a similar breed experience, and that is required. So that does limit the pool of people who are able to adopt Balto, but it does make sure that they are going to be the best possible home for him. He has, been updated on all of his vaccines. He's been dewormed. He's been given his flea and tick preventative. He will be neutered before he leaves. The reason that he was brought to us because he was fighting with other dogs in the home. And the fact that he's not neutered could have played a large role in that. So neutering your pets has a large range of benefits. Not only does it make it so that they are not, procreating, because we have enough unwanted and homeless animals in the world right now, but it also can help with hormones and make them a little bit less energetic. It can help them mellow out a little bit. It can help with getting along with other animals in the home as well. So it's really important to get that done. If you're interested in making Balto part of your family and you meet those requirements, you can visit him here at 1832 Rosemont Avenue. Our adoption fee for adult dogs like Balto is $92.50. Our next guest is one that has been on the show before, but she looks a little different. Maybe you've noticed that Angel is a little slimmer, a little trimmer. She came into the shelter back in December, and she weighed in at 114 pounds. And as of January 10th, she was down to 97. So she still has a little ways to go, but she's been doing wonderfully with her weight loss program. She's been dieting, and she's been going out for her short walks, and she's just doing really well. And you can tell how much better she feels because this girl boss is being super bossy. Apparently, as I'm doing a little bit of my research, that is a bulldog trait. They're a little bossy, and she has a big personality that goes with her big size. But she is also very affectionate. She tends to bond with people very quickly, and she also can be a little whiny when she sees the people that she wants to love on and they don't come right up to her kennel. She will let you know that she wants you to come see her. Her hidden talent is opening all doors that she can push open, and she's so fun to be around because she has such a big personality, and her story is one that's a little bit sad. She was adopted from us as a puppy approximately 5 years ago, and she lived a great life with her owner. Her owner moved to Florida and was having a lot of landlord issues and just couldn't find a suitable housing placement for her where she was able to keep Angel with her. So because she adopted Angel from us and she knew that we would take good care of her and find her the right home, she actually drove her all the way back to Maryland from Florida so that we could find her a new forever home. Now, we do not take dogs from out of state typically, but because Angel was adopted from us. We are committed to our animals, so if an animal has been adopted from us, we will take that animal back. But otherwise, we only take animals in from Frederick County residents because we are funded by county taxpayer dollars. Angel here is one of my very good friends. So she likes to cuddle, she likes to have her head rubbed, she likes lots of scratches and little massages. She is an older dog, so she would get a $20 reduction in her adoption fee. But because of her age and her breed and being a little overweight, she does have a few medical things that you need to take into consideration. So if you're interested in making her part of your family, you can visit her here at Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center. We are open to the public 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday. This next guy is Buster, and he is one of our longer term residents. He's been with us since the end of October, about Halloween time. He's been available for adoption, and he's 2.5 years old. He is a handsome hound mix, and he is probably the happiest dog we have on the adoption floor. He's always smiling, he's always happy to see people, he's full of energy. He literally jumps for joy when people walk by his kennel. But all of those things that the staff and volunteers find really endearing about Buster, his big personality and his energy level, sometimes can be off-putting for potential adopters. So I'm going to break it down for you. Buster is a champion high jumper. He can jump 3 to 4 feet from standing. It's amazing, but maybe not everybody is down with that. When he's outside, he doesn't do that as much as he does it in his kennel. He's excited to see people who are walking by. He wants to go outside. He's tired of being cooped up. It's kind of like he has cabin fever, and he wants to get out and he wants to run and play. And so when people walk by his kennel, that's what you're seeing. You're seeing the pure excitement at the opportunity, the potential opportunity to go outside and have a good time. Once he's outside, he kind of does what you see right now. He wants to be around people. He wants to be loved and petted. He'll lean into you. When he's with other dogs, he loves to initiate play. He's bouncing around. He does have more, some people say exuberant. If you're not familiar with dogs, it might look aggressive. It's just a more aggressive play style. We have him down as a hound mix, but we could see like there might be some boxer in there. So he has those elements to his play where he, is boxing around and he's doing a lot of bouncing, and he puts his paws on the other dogs, and sometimes they're pretty vocal in their play. And he loves to play with other dogs. He's done great with almost every dog. I can't even think of a dog that he hasn't done well with that we've introduced him to. You will also notice that Buster is a little thin. So Buster is getting 3 feeds a day so that we can help him keep weight on, and he's getting some extra goodies in there with his meals. Because he's so active in his kennel, he's just losing weight, faster than we can give him the food. So we're working on ways to make sure that he is staying healthy. Once he's in a home environment, he'll put his pounds back on, and it shouldn't be an issue. But the shelter can be a stressful environment, and as I mentioned, he is a champion jumper. So all that jumping, he's burning a lot of calories. So things to think about when you're making him part of your family. This little guy is Oliver, and he is the last guinea pig that we have available for adoption right now at FCAC. We had several pairs that were on the adoption floor that were bonded. They all got adopted together as they would be as bonded pairs. And then Oliver had a friend named Buddy, and they were not listed as bonded. And because Buddy was a little bit more cuddly, a little bit more affectionate, he was adopted to a family that already had an existing guinea pig. So unfortunately, that leaves Oliver here all by himself looking for a forever home. Guinea pigs that are adopted through FCAC are adopted for a fee of $10, or if you were to get 2, you would get 2 for $15. Guinea pigs prefer to be with a friend. Guinea pigs are prey animals, so they like to have that kind of security of having somebody to watch their back, if you will. They need that kind of affection and attention. So if you're going to get a guinea pig and they don't have a friend that they're living with, another piggy, then it's really important for you to provide them with all of their social interaction. So If you had an existing guinea pig and you wanted to add Oliver to the mix, you can't just go home and put Oliver in with your other guinea pig. You really need to make sure that you're putting them in cages next to each other and letting them have playtime outside, and then integrate them slowly into living in the same cage together. It is also very important that you get guinea pigs of the same gender. Unless your guinea pigs are spayed or neutered, which most of them aren't. You don't want to mix genders, otherwise you will have more little guinea pigs than you ever imagined. And we don't want to add to population because then they're just going to end up back here in the shelter. So we want to do our best to make sure that we're not creating more homeless animals. Guinea pigs, while they are small and they're pretty durable, they kind of make good first pets. They are a big responsibility. In fact, the reason that Oliver and Buddy were actually brought in was because they were too much work. You have to make sure that you're providing them with the appropriate cage space, that you're cleaning it out the correct number of times. They need a variety of food sources, so they need to have their hay and their pellets and their veggies. They need a lot of things. They also need time outside of their enclosures to exercise and play. They need that cuddle time, that interaction. So they do have a lot of things that they require. It's not just a pet that you're going to put in a cage and walk away and forget it. So you want to make sure that before you take on a guinea pig, or any pet for that matter, that you're doing the appropriate amount of research and you are learning all that you can to make sure that it's going to be something that you can commit to providing the appropriate care for. If you were to adopt a guinea pig from us, we do provide you with some resources. There are vets in the community also that will provide care for guinea pigs and other small animals. There are less of them than there are the traditional dog and cat vets, but we do have a vet list for small animals if that's something that you are interested in. You want to make sure you find an appropriate vet. We hope that you enjoyed meeting a couple of our adoptable dogs and Oliver the guinea pig here. If you are a cat person, then we've got a great next half of the show for you, because we have 6 cats that we're going to let you get to know after the break.
I'd like to tell you about a great opportunity for homeschool families right here at Fountain Rock Park. Our staff is dedicated to the idea of presenting science and nature concepts to all children, and with this in mind, we've developed an all-new series of homeschool classes. Subjects include animals, trees, geology, weather, and more. At Fountain Rock, the emphasis is on active, engaged learning. Our hour-and-a-half programs contain equal parts of class time, hands-on time, and outdoor exploration. For more information, check out recreator.com or feel free to call us.
Welcome back. Our first feline guest is Gellert, and he has been with us quite a while. He's been with us since the end of August, and he's also one of our shy cats, and he's also one of our black cats. So sometimes those two things can kind of work against him in helping him find the perfect family, because he kind of blends into the cage, and because he often is hiding in his little cat bed house, he's hard to see. But one thing that all of the volunteers know and the staff know is that he's actually a very sweet, very affectionate, lovable guy. He is, I was talking to a couple of volunteers the other day, and he's their favorite. You know, there's several volunteers that would come up and say, Gellert is my favorite cat. They make sure that they spend time with him every time that they're here. They spend a long time with him, and he, curls up right next to them and is just happy to be petted and loved on. He does really enjoy those kind of beds where he can feel safe, and he sticks his, he goes in there, but he sticks his head out, and he still kind of watches what goes on in the shelter as people are passing by. But he is an animal that's going to require patience from his new family, so that he can, get comfortable in his new situation. You don't want to just toss him in the house and say, okay, Gellert, figure it out. We encourage all of our adoptive families to put their cats in an isolated room for a 10-day period. This gives animals time to recover from their spay or neuter surgeries. It gives animals a chance to show any symptoms before they're integrated into the rest of the house, just to make sure we're not spreading any germs. And it also gives them a chance to feel comfortable in their new environment before the environment is so large that it's overwhelming. And that would definitely be something that's going to be very, very beneficial for a shy cat like Gellert. Because he is one of our black pets, if you were to adopt Gellert, or at least apply for him in the month of January, you would get $20 off for this 4-year-old guy, because black never goes out of style, and Gellert will always be in fashion, and he will make a great companion for whatever family decides to come along and make him part of their home. Roxas here is a new addition to our senior class. He is 12 years old, and that makes him the oldest resident on the adoption floor right now. Mountain Dew was also 12, but he was recently adopted, so we're hoping that Roxas can find a new home as well. He has a beautiful coat. He's got very unique markings, and he is orange, tabby, and white, and he's got beautiful green eyes, and his nose is kind of very unique as well, so there's a lot that makes him stand out. He is a very new addition to our adoption floor, and I had not interacted with him before today. When I went to his cage, he was hiding back behind his bed, but when I moved that out of the way and started petting him, rubbing him on his head, he instantly warmed up. He got up, started purring. He walked to the front of his cage. He nuzzled into my hand, showing me what he liked. He let me pick him up then. Even though he was a little hesitant, he warmed up very quickly. And when I brought him out to the set today, he was again a little hesitant in a new situation to come out of the carrier. But once he was on Tammy's lap, he seemed to settle in. Again, a little unsure of what's going on. It seems like a lot has been going on for this senior cat in the last couple of weeks. So it's okay for him to be a little cautious, but I think once he gets into a home, he's just going to be quite the little love bug. One of the benefits of adopting a senior is that they are much calmer, much more relaxed. They can still be very playful, but they have grown out of that kind of obnoxious, hyperactive kitten phase, and they are more inclined to cuddle up next to you and want to be, your snuggle buddy at night. Their personalities are set, so you know what you're getting. It's not something that they haven't figured out yet. If they like to sit on laps, then they like to sit on laps. It's not going to be something that's going to change in 2 weeks' time. And they just have a lot more character to them, I think, because that is their true personality. When you look at Roxas, in addition to how handsome and relaxed he is, you might also notice that he has a little thinning fur on his back and abdomen. Our vet has looked at that and is thinking that that's probably related to a flea allergy. So we've given him flea and tick preventative. That's something that he will always need to be on just to prevent a recurrence of those nasty little guys, and to make sure that he doesn't deal with any hair loss and itching and allergic reaction from that. Because he's a senior, he will go, and he's over the age of 10, he will go home for a $40 discount to your adoption fee if you were to make Roxas part of your family. This guy is Buddy, and he is one of the older kittens we have on the adoption floor. He is 6 months old, and he's a new resident, and he is very confident, he's very playful, he's very handleable, he's just a great all-around cat. He's one of those cats that we would say is almost that perfect cat. I walked by him the other day, and a volunteer was sitting kind of half in his cage, and he was sitting on her shoulder like a little parrot, perfectly relaxed, perfectly comfortable, perfectly happy, purring, kneading, living his best life. He is loves to be handled, loves to be petted, loves to be played with, and he probably won't be on the adoption floor for long. Someone's going to snatch him up quickly and make him part of their family. Why was Buddy brought to us if he's such a great cat? Well, apparently the owner moved out of their house and they had no place to live, so then they did not have a place, obviously, to keep Buddy and the other cat that he arrived at the shelter with. The previous owner said that Buddy is used to living with cats, dogs, children, men and women, that he is playful, energetic, and friendly. Those are typical kitten behaviors. That he uses his litter box, and that's about it. I mean, that seems to fit him pretty well. He's settled in pretty nicely on Tammy's lap. He does seem to be vocal when he wants, when he has an opinion he'd like to share, so he's not going to be necessarily the quietest cat. He's interested in the toys that we have over there. He's just, again, a typical kitten. All of the cats and kittens that are adopted from FCAC will go home spayed or neutered. They will be rabies vaccinated, they will get their county license, they will get their distemper vaccines, they will be dewormed, they will get flea and tick preventative, they are all microchipped, and you also get a free well visit to the vet. You really can't beat what you're getting for that price. You're getting a great new family member, you're getting all of those preventatives and that initial medical assessment taken care of, that spay or neuter surgery, and you're getting it all for $97.50. Just a vet visit is going to probably cost you that much, not including the spay. Before they go home, all their nails are trimmed. So it's really a great deal, and you get the added benefit of not only having a new friend in your home, but you get to know that you're rescuing an animal and giving them a second chance at a family. And that is something that Buddy and all of the animals here at Frederick County Animal Control deserve. This is Pam, and she is another one of those cats that for some reason gets easily overlooked. She just isn't one of the ones that's like right at the front of your cage, her cage, reaching out for people. She kind of hangs out back in the back, and it's not because she's not social. She just isn't demanding of attention. But when you open up her cage and show that you're ready to provide that to her, she is more than willing to accept it. And she is going to be around for quite a long time because she's only 2 to 3 years old. She's a beautiful little girl. She kind of has a very petite frame. Her legs are a little shorter, her tail's a little smaller. She's very, very cute, and her fur is very soft and silky. And she has kind of an interesting look. She does have a tipped ear, which doesn't necessarily mean that she was ever out as a stray or a feral. She came to us owned. It's just sometimes people do that just to identify animals that have been altered. So we get a lot of super friendly cats that are ear-tipped, and they make great household pets. It doesn't necessarily, again, mean that they are still feral or anything like that. Pam, again, came to us owned, but there is no profile, so we're just learning things as we go along. And I was talking to a volunteer recently who said Pam is now like her new favorite, and she is the sweetest, and she likes to kind of rub right into you and kind of give you little hugs. And when I went to her cage, I was kneeling down because she to the level, and Pam came up and she sniffed my hand, and then she started, rubbing all over my hand to show me what she liked. She gave me a little headbutt, and then she actually walked right out onto my legs as I was kneeling down so that she could curl up on my lap. So she is definitely one of those cats that's going to want to be around you all the time and be super affectionate. At 2 to 3 years old, she's an adult cat, so she would be adopted just for our typical adult adoption fee, which is $97.50. That covers all the things that we've already talked about. Spaying, which she's already spayed. It covers rabies vaccine, county license, distemper, dewormer, flea and tick preventative, microchipping, a well visit to the vet, all those really important things. And you want to make sure that you are going to be providing her with her annual well visit as well once she's part of your family. This next guest is Bubbles, and she is a beautiful orange tabby with white, and she again is one of those often overlooked shy cats. She has a lot of potential. I see her in there playing by herself all the time in her cage, but she's seems particularly unnerved by loud noises when the doors open and close. You know, when things get dropped, that definitely startles her, and she does what any fearful cat does. She tries to bury her face. If she can't see anything, then nothing can see her. She must be invisible. So even though she's young, at about 8 months old, she is still going to require, you know, a lot of patience. She needs someone to help her understand that the world isn't that scary, and to build her confidence so that she can be just your average young playful cat. She did come to us as a stray, so we're still learning things about her, and as our volunteers spend more time with her, they will start to you know, learn her likes and dislikes and her personality a bit more. If you want to see what our volunteers are saying about the animals, then you can always check out our Facebook page. If you just search Frederick County Animal Control, I believe it comes right up, or if you go to facebook.com/FCACMD, I believe, then you'll be able to see all of the stuff that's going on, all of our events, but we also have albums with profile pictures for all of the adoptable animals, and Bubbles would be featured in that. And if you look into the comments, oftentimes we have volunteers who write comments about their interactions with the animals. So dogs, cats, rabbits, things, you know, super sweet, or likes this, doesn't like this, don't pick me up, all of that type of stuff. And that can give you a better idea before you even come into the shelter as to which animals might be a good fit for your house. We also write all of their color coding information on there, and then our color coding flyer that tells you what each color means is also listed on that Facebook album. So you can know ahead of time, are they shy? Are they really energetic? Are they, you know, really calm and relaxed? All of those things before you ever come into the shelter and see an animal. The last animal that we have to showcase for you today is Winter, and she's approximately a year old, and she may look, when you're looking from a distance, just like she's a gray cat, but she's actually a dilute tortie, and she just doesn't have as many orange or cream spots on her as some of the others do. But she's got, you know, a very unique set of markings when you really get close to her and look at her. She is one of our moms, so she came back just before Christmas, excuse me, with her litter of kittens. There were 4 kittens. All of them have W names, so we have Winter, and then her kittens were Winnie, Winfrey, Wally, and Wolfie. And all of her babies have since been adopted, and she is still hanging around looking for her chance to be babied and taken care of by a loving family. We have a lot of cats that come in with kittens, and the story is always the same. The kittens get adopted and their adult moms get overlooked. So make sure that you don't overlook Winter when you're visiting the shelter. You want to look in every cage. Because of the dark colors of some of these animals, they kind of blend into the stainless steel cages, and it's hard to see them. So really take a good look in every cage and make sure that you're finding an animal that's not just pretty or meets your age requirements, but that is really going to be the one that suits your lifestyle and what the personality type that you're looking for. If you think Winter or any of the animals that you've seen on today's show qualify for what's going to be the best new family member in your household, then the first thing you have to do is stop in and visit with them here. We, again, are open to the public Monday through Saturday. All of our hours of operation are available on our website, and that's going to be www.frederickcountymd.gov/FCAC, and you can find out more information about our adoption process, volunteering, donating, or any of the services that we provide here at Frederick County Animal Control. We thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed getting to know these animals a little bit better, and that we'll see you here sometime soon, and we'll definitely catch you here next week for our next episode.